Sup nerds! Welcome back to my channel, guys! I'm so excited for today's video. We will be doing my April reading wrap up. Oh my gosh. Honestly, normally like all my May videos, or the next month videos I should say, so more so just like the what is the word? TBR jar. That one always gets filmed a little bit early because it goes up in the current month, you know what I'm saying? So every time I'm like, oh my gosh, can't believe it's gonna be May. But then I'm like, I still have a couple days left. Now it's like, no, it's May. It's May and I'm shooketh, but I'm so excited. I'm going on a vacation soon, like all the good fun things. So I am so pumped and ready for May, but it's fine. I just don't want the summer to end. I'm not gonna lie, I just don't. I feel like winter was so long. I don't want another winter, but I know we have time, so let's not talk about it anymore. Anyway, I'm so excited for today's video. First, if you guys, what am I saying? I'm still drinking my coffee for the day, so it hasn't kicked in yet. Anyway, we're doing my reading wrap up. First, if you guys like reading wrap ups, if you guys like talking about books, if you guys like all the nerdy things, then definitely give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. Without further ado, let's just get started. I had a meeting today with my my team from work, and it was so freaking funny because we had like an icebreaker question, and she was like, okay, so like what if you had to do a TED talk, like unprepared TED talk for whatever, just out of nowhere, what topic would you choose? And I was like, oh girl, probably like something about books, like a specific book or books in general, or like whatever it is, something related to books. And she was like, oh, whatever, ask questions. So you best believe I took the opportunity to show off my bookshelves. I was like, look at these cuties. These are all my shelves. They were probably shooketh, but it was funny. We did like a personality test, and I work from home, so obviously so does my team. And some of them got like for personality tests, like extroverted. And I was like, why did you choose? I didn't ask them this, but it's so funny because I got like 75% introverted. I said, that makes sense. That makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Anyway, so unrelated, but I just wanted to tell you. I just wanted to talk to my friends. Is that okay? Anyway, this month I did end up reading 12 books, which is so exciting. Honestly, I've been, so January I read 12, February I read 12, March I read 7, and now April we read 12. So it's insane, but this is April's the month that I did not complete my TBR. I did read 5 out of the 7 books, but honestly, the 2 books that I did not read were Deep End by Ali Hazelwood and then Nightbane by Alex Astor. Nightbane by Alex Astor, I'm just not 100% sure I'm going to continue the series. And if I do, it may be a while when I'm not in the middle of so many like other YA series that I like more, if that makes sense. So because I feel like I didn't love Light Lark, you know, that much. So I don't know. You guys can let me know. Love Triangle is just not really my thing, but I don't know. You guys can let me know if I need to read it. If you're like, oh my gosh, this series gets better, like enjoy it, or if you're like, you know. And then Deep End I actually have as a Libby hold right now, but it says like 20 something weeks. So I don't know. That's the one I don't know if I'm even gonna listen to, but unless I get like a super like excited urge to read it, I probably won't. So won't soon. I will eventually, but not right now. I'm just not in the mood. I'm just not, you know? But the other 5 I did read, so did pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, like I did better than I thought I would, because I thought I was gonna get a whopping 0, but I did pretty good. So, okay, first books we read this month, I actually did a little bit of a reread, which is super freaking exciting. Well, I reread this one. This is The Wolf King by Lauren Palferman. So this kind of started off my reading again. A reread of all things, but I just knew this book was so freaking good, and it did not disappoint. I loved it so much that I changed my original rating and ended up going with 5 stars. This is a werewolf series, so this is book 1. Then I did read book 2, The Night Prince, so this just came out. The series is about werewolves or wolves. I don't know, technically werewolf, I don't know. They're wolves, and it is so good. So I'm usually not a wolf like person. I've read a couple, but not very many because it's just not my thing. But these are so good. So essentially we have like this princess who does get kidnapped. She gets kidnapped by the he's an alpha wolf. So there's like a king of the wolves. He's not the king, but he's an alpha. So he's an important guy. He's an important guy. And then we meet, the funny thing about these books is that, so she, obviously there's a romance there. She gets kidnapped by this guy. We meet another character. Blakey. Blake, he is just like, he's giving Xaden, he's giving Rhysand, he's giving like dark, mysterious, bad boy, just a hater. He's giving evil, he's giving morally gray, but we love him. And so it's not necessarily love triangle. I don't know, I guess it is slightly love triangle. It's more so love triangle in the sense, not in the sense of the character is torn. We are torn as readers. We're like, we know what we want for you, girl. So we still don't have like kind of an answer even after book 2, but it is so good. If that sounds even like slightly interesting to you, I would definitely absolutely freaking read it because it is just so good. It is open door. I don't even know if I should have to say that anymore. I'm sure that's the assumption with all of these books. You can get it on Kindle Unlimited. It's just like checking all the freaking boxes, every single one. I could talk about the series. I could do a TED Talk on this series because the series is so freaking good. You have like plot twists, things you don't know, you know, like things like fun stuff, all the good stuff. So I ended up giving both of those 5 stars, I believe. Yeah. I cannot wait. This is going to be a trilogy, if I did not say that. Okay, then I read The Love Haters by Catherine Senner. I have to pop in a picture because I don't have it's not actually out yet, I don't think, when I'm uploading this. It comes out soon though, and I could get it as my book of the month, but I don't like any of the book of the months, you guys, so I don't want to do an add-on and hate the book that I'm gonna get. Oh yeah, it doesn't come out till May 20th, but I did get to read this. I ended up going with 3.75 stars. I liked this book. I wasn't like completely obsessed. This was in a reading vlog as well as the other books before this, but I wasn't obsessed. I think honestly the thing with this book is that there's so many great things that I'm like hoping this book she doesn't feel like this book is a complete flop, because there are great moments and great things in this one that I love, that I've read a lot of books that I've never read before, and so I just hope she keeps being creative, but like, you know, still goes back to like her fun romancy kind of vibes. This one I think fell short in the romance department, and so that's what I think is like a downfall, because you know her and these books as like more rom-com-y books, and so that's where I think the problem was. But you know, and I think honestly everyone, the reviews I've seen are kind of right there with it. Yeah, around a 4 star. So just to each their own. I think it's still a fun read, but obviously I don't think it's going to be like your next 5-star read or anything like that, you know. Okay, then I have to talk about these all together because I read the whole series all the way through and there's no way I can remember specifics from each book. But we read Hate by Tate James. This was on my TBR, so I loved it so much I had to get the rest of the series. So then we got Liar. This is book 2. Then we got Fake. This is book 3, and then book 4, Kate. So these you can get on Kindle Unlimited as well. This series, you freaking guys. It is literally, it's actually, what is the word? Oh my gosh. Reverse harem, I guess, technically, but also why choose. I would call it why choose, but I don't really know. Who knows? But the series is so fun. So we have our main character, Madison Kate, and she's kind of like, it's hard. She's put in a sticky situation, okay? She's put through the ringer. So this book actually takes place, there's a prologue, so you get to see this. I think it's like a year or so like in the past, and then it starts like a year or so later, and we get to meet these characters. It's forced proximity, but it's also just like sort of millionaire romance in the sense that they're not hurting for money, you know what I mean? Like there's no it's all, you know, buy whatever we want. They're all pretty much rich. And then the thing with this one is that there's a little bit of mystery. There's a little bit of like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Like, what is that? Who done it? Gotta figure it out. Who's doing this? but there's also like who's doing that. There's multiple things going on, so that's why it's such a great like series that it's 4 books, because you get to feel like it's all follows the same characters. Sorry, I should have said that, but why it's such a good book, because you have to like solve a bunch of things, and that's why it takes so long, you know. There are multiple things that you're trying to figure out and things like that. It is a little corny, it is a little cheesy, but I enjoyed it. I ate it up. So I don't know, there's not much else I want to tell you. Obviously this was, I think this was, some of these were in a reading vlog as well, so I don't want to be too repetitive, but also this is the kind of series that you go into it blind and enjoy it. Obviously it's open door, you know, and you can get it on Kindle Unlimited. I ended up giving Hate 4.25. Again, this was just the corniest and cheesiest of them all, but it was still so fun. And then I gave Liar and Fake. So I gave book 2 and book 3 4.5 stars. Again, we're getting to the nitty gritty. There's such, oh my gosh, there's some scenes that like just go on replay in my mind because they were so cutie. And then we ended up going with 5 stars for book 4 because I just loved it. It wrapped everything up so freaking beautifully and so good. It's so interesting. You guys, I think you guys will be like shocked at this series, honestly. It'll take you by surprise for sure. Then I actually ended up reading How to End a Love Story. So this was on my TBR. This is one that I thought for sure I was not going to read, but I ended up like getting it. Not gonna lie, I got this like 3 or 4 times in as a Libby hold, and then I just kept like, I honestly kept returning it and then placing it as a hold, and I don't know, people just kept doing the same thing because I kept getting it back and back and back in my collection, and back as a hold, and then finally I was like, okay, let me just try it. So I started listening to it, and the beginning honestly hooked me. I was super interested. I ended up going with 3.25 for this book. This is another one where I think there's a lot of great concepts. I think the downfall for this book is obviously that it's in third person. I just think, I know people say that they don't care, but I think that if this book was not in third person, the ratings would have been way higher, not just from me, but from everyone else too, who's kind of rating this subpar. It's just kind of hard to connect to the characters like these. And I get some people write third person really well, but I just think it's just, she didn't. She did not. And so there's that. You don't feel like, you don't love the characters. I think the like sort of third act breakup was absolutely ridiculous and just like way too long in my opinion. Because I'm like, okay, so then that tells me you didn't even actually like each other. So then you're not even really rooting for the romance. So then it was just kind of like, okay, I want to be done at the end. Again, the middle, this is like fun. It's interesting. It's unique. I haven't read very much like this. So it's just ticking a lot of boxes, but I think execution wise, it fell a little bit short. So if you have it on your TBR, like, you know, if you have time or you're like, honestly, I just want something that I don't need to like be super attached to, I just want to read something, move on with my life, this is a good one. But if you're looking for like, again, a next 5-star read or like something to really like hook you and like you want to be attached to, this is not it. This is not it. I also think that, I don't remember what seasons this is, but I feel like there was a mention of snow. Maybe not. I don't know. I feel like maybe cold weather? I don't really know. And then I ended up reading, this is also on my TBR, The Broken Elf King by Leah Stone. I ended up tabbing this because I loved it so freaking much. It was so cute. I think, again, Leah Stone writes such incredible stuff. I've talked about this. It is so, so good. She just writes very quick-paced fantasy romance. It is cute. It's fun. It has you kicking your feet, squealing, screaming, dying on the floor, the whole thing. And then it ends. Like, you don't have to be in this for so long. There's not, like, pages and pages of angst and waiting, and I know some people really like that, and sometimes I do really want that, but sometimes I just want a very quick fantasy romance just to like dabble, not be too attached, and this was perfect, and all of her books are perfect for that. I love this series. If you don't know, it's the Kings of Avalier, I think it is, but there's a 4-book little series. They're all this short. They're all super short, around less than 300 pages, but they're all basically fighting the same enemy, so they're interconnected in the sense that this one doesn't have the final battle, which I'm sure book 4 will have the biggest battle of them all. This one does have a little bit of battle and fighting, so that was super, I loved that, but the book 4 is gonna have one, so that's why my point in saying that is I would suggest reading them in order. Normally interconnected standalones are like, obviously you could read them as standalone. This specifically, there's one big final battle, but these 4 books books all have different main characters, so it's kind of like, use your discretion, but they're short enough that, like, honestly, you could probably read all 4 books and it'd still be shorter than some of the fantasy books that we all read and love, you know? This book also comes out May 20th, so The Love Haters and this book both come out May 20th, which is super exciting, but I did end up reading Wandering Wild by Lynette Noni. I have to go with 5 stars, and I'm like, okay, maybe 4.75 because there was a little thing that I didn't love, which it was like a big thing, so it's kind of like annoying, but like still, it gave me that 5-star like feeling, so I'm telling you it's 5 stars. But if you're wondering, like, should you read it? The answer is yes, you should read it. It may annoy you at one part, and that's more so like the conflict toward the end is a little bit annoying because it's just, I said this before, it's just not a big enough reaction from all parties. It's a little bit like rushed, and you could tell because it's like super close to the end of the book. So I definitely wish it was like maybe like 30 to, I mean, I would read another 100 pages, but you know what I mean? A little bit longer to get a little bit more of a reaction. But honestly, this book takes place in the span of like 4 or 5 days. It's not a long time, and I freaking love that. It is incredible. I just think Lynette Noni knows how to write something creative, something new, but something so good. Like, you still love the characters, you still like are rooting for these characters, but there's still a sense of like mystery. Who are these characters, and like, who are these characters really? You want them to like get to know each other, but you also want to know yourself. You also want to know what's happening because they're on a giant adventure kind of thing. So it's like, you're like, oh my gosh, you feel like you're at the edge of your seat every other chapter. So I loved it all the way around. The romance is like not as much as like most people I guess would want, but I did not care because I love a good adventure story. And so if you're like that, a survival story, then you will love this. So I 10 out of 10 recommend. 10 out of 10 recommend. I know someone just said too that they didn't know she was coming out with a new book. I know. So many, these authors are so low key sometimes. They just be sliding like a new book in there, and I'm like, hello, come on, scream it from the rooftops because this book is so good. So I'm glad that I got that one. This book is one that I haven't talked about, you guys. I was gonna slide it in that video, but I ended up not. But I ended up reading Tangled Up in You by Christina Lauren. You freaking guys! I was just giving 5 stars left and right. How many 5 stars did I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had 6. That's 50% 5-star. Honestly, not bad. But I love this book so much. I couldn't not give it 5 stars is the thing. And honestly, I think like the reviews honestly make me so annoyed because I'm like, what did people expect? It's literally the Tangled story in real life. So if you don't like the Tangled movie, don't read this. Like, you're not gonna like this. It's literally copy paste, but in like a real world. So instead of like going to see like whatever she wants to just get out of her thing, she ends up going to college. Her main character is like, oh my gosh, I want to go to college. So she's going to college for the first time. She's never been to school, always homeschooled, and she's kind of figuring things out. But the thing that I like about what Christina Lauren, what they did with this main character is that she was super aware that she was going to be different. Like, she knew that a lot of the things she said were going to be different, and she's like, wait, I'm trying to understand. And so she wasn't even that quirky, weird, which I appreciate. Like, I wasn't getting secondhand embarrassment the whole entire time. Maybe a couple times, but rarely. So I was happy about that. And then she ends up meeting another character, which is, his name is Fitz. She's Ren and Fitz, which I don't know. We could have had better names here, but it's fine. So she ends up meeting Fitz. And so there's just a bunch of things. There's like a Smolder reference and like animal, like it's just so interesting. And then the story ends up being literally identical to Tangled. So if you don't like that story, like, you're not gonna like this book. But I thought they nailed it right on the money. Like, it was incredible. I was hooked the entire time. I read this in a day because I couldn't stop reading. It was just so enjoyable, and it was cute. It was fun. It's closed door, so there's nothing. There are the cursing and stuff like that, but there's no open door scenes from what I can remember. I believe it was not, but it'll catch you. You'll be pissed off and you'll be like, no! And then I'm like, run! Literally like the movie. So I loved it. They end up going, his car, oh, I won't tell you, but his car is so fun, but they end up taking a road trip as well. So it's just, again, all fun things, and the ending ended up being like super, super serious, and I was very happy about that. Like, I'm very happy with the way this book went. I loved it. Literally loved it. I talked about it for 5 minutes. I am obsessed. Like, I really don't know why it has a 3.9 rating on Goodreads, because people are just being so dumb. I'm not gonna lie. I guess I can understand like it not being a 5-star because it literally is the Tangled story, but I think they did it so well. Like, I had to give it 5 stars, but I can see why other people wouldn't give it 5 stars. I just think that other people giving it like lower than that is just dumb. Like, did you just never watch Tangled growing up? It's kind of weird. Weird. And I'm sorry if you are one of those people who gave this book less than a 4-star, but it's kind of like, I just don't know what people expected is the thing. Like, literally expect what it is. It's Tangled in the real world. Expect that. Like, don't expect anything else. It's literally Tangled. It's not just inspired by Tangled. It's literally the story. So just know that. Okay, drum roll please. We finished off with Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. I didn't know if I was going to finish this in time because I had slowed down at the end, but then the ending, once I started back up again, I could not stop. I literally stayed up for a while. I was trying to go to bed, and I didn't stay for like 2 or 3 hours later because I could not stop. It was so good. I ended up listening to it. I did get it on the Libby app. So I believe you can get book 1 and book 2 on the Libby app, but book 3 and 4 is not on there, which is so annoying. But this is book 2 to the Red Queen in the Red Queen series. I just don't know what people's beef is. I don't know. Here's the thing. I will say I could see how people get annoyed with the main character. Honestly though, she kind of reminds me of like Katniss from the Hunger Games, which I feel like people have had problems with Katniss as well. But this character, they're very similar in my opinion. This girl I think is just younger. I don't even know though, because I think Katniss is supposed to be in the books pretty young, so I don't really know. But anyway, they remind me of each other, their personality types. But basically in this book, they're on a mission. Okay, they need to get stuff done. Our main character is a little bit like, she puts the world on her shoulders herself, and then she kind of does also she takes this like leadership role in a sense, and people are like annoyed about it. Like, people in the book are annoyed about it. But what I appreciate about this book is that the characters are not just letting her do whatever she wants. The characters are pissed at her. They're like, girl, get yourself together. And there's a moment at the ending too, again, where she's just being like, she feels like she has to make these decisions and she's gonna save the world and blah, blah, blah. And the other characters are like, shut up, stop. And they do yell at her. And so I appreciate that because it makes it seem like, okay, this is not, the author doesn't, I mean, this character, what she's feeling is we're not supporting it, if you will. I don't know how to explain that. Like, we're not saying that this is how a main character should lead, but we're acknowledging that it happens, girl. She's freaking out. Homegirl is freaking out. She don't know what to do. She's just trying her best. And so I just ended up really enjoying it. I did end up going with 4.25 stars. I think this series for me, again, I've said this before, but I think it will be a solid 4-star series, maybe 4.5, 4.25 series in general. Book 1, I enjoyed. I just enjoyed both of these books. I definitely think someone could take this story, rewrite it, and like elevate it. It could be like a 4th wing or something, because the story in general is super, super unique. Like, obviously, you guys know they have different, like, color blood, basically. Some of them bleed silver, some of them are red, some of them are whatever. And so the silvers are, like, the higher ups, the reds are the lows, like, whatever it is. And so, obviously, she's trying to, like, not ruin this, but, like, change the system. Like, that's not right. Obviously, they know it's not right. So she's trying to stand up for that. And so it's a fun series is a thing. You get characters who you're like are, switch up and just different things. So it's interesting. It's such an interesting series. I think their execution, again, it could be a little bit more fine-tuned, if you will. And so again, the main characters could be more likable. I think that's another thing as well. Like, the main character, the main girl is not super likable. And then there's not really, I would say there's I guess the guy is like a main character, because whatever, but he could be more interesting too, like little things. They could be more likable. You could be rooting a little bit more for like the romance, but I don't think necessarily this is a book for romance. So anyway, book 2 ends on a crazy cliffhanger, and I'm like, what? So I'm excited to read book 3, so hopefully I get to that next month. It's good stuff, people. This is one of those series that if you're, you know, in between series, you're waiting for next books in series, but you want to have like a fantasy, yeah, something fantasy, YA, if you like to read YA, I definitely would recommend this one, but I don't think if you're looking for like another like Throne of Glass, ACOTAR, like this is not that. This is not that, but it's a nice middleman. So those are all the books that I read in the month of April. This ended up being way longer, but I had so much to say. So let me know what books you read in the month of April. Did we read any of the same books? I know, oh my gosh, I'm so glad. I did not forget, but I actually am going to post the poll for the buddy read now, so that it's easier to post it when I upload, because then more people are obviously going to be voting on it. But I completely forgot when I uploaded my freaking TBR, so I'm so sorry. So we're going to upload it now. We're going to do the same buddy read, because obviously I did not read the book that we were supposed to read in March. So it's been a few months, but I do want to do one for May. So let me know what book you pick. I'm so sorry, I almost forgot. But anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next one. Bye, nerds.